Welcome back now. Of course, the Future Awards Africa is back for another year. It's time for us to celebrate the class of 2020, and the nominations are out. And if you watched the show last Sunday, I wasn't here because we used that to, reveal the nominees for the year. And we went from, so many fields: acting, entrepreneurship, fashion, and so many more. So today we're going to be talking with a couple of the nominees for the awards this season, and just finding out, some of what they do, how they feel about the awards, and their hopes about winning. Here with me, of course, is David Bendega, who is a nominee in the Future Awards Prize for Entrepreneurship. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Where were you when you heard? Were you watching?
Where
Did you
was
log
I?
in? Did someone call you?
Oh yes, I was watching. And I got a lot of calls, so that was really nice. Yeah.
Did you kind of know, I'm gonna be nominated? Did you?
Oh yes, I did.
What is it you do that made you feel confident about it?
So I work as the regional marketing manager for Bolt in Africa. So that's Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania. I cover all the markets in Africa.
Okay. How long have you done that for?
I've been working here for 3 years.
Okay.
There for 3 years.
So I mean, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I just turned 27.
So for a lot of Nigerians, it's weird to see a 27-year-old running regional markets of major economies like this. What did you do to get you here?
I think the Nigerian answer is say grace. But I would say that it's been a very interesting journey. I started my career in journalism, actually. I studied mass comm, and I was originally in the Metro desk at Punch.
Okay.
So Metro desk is investigative. You go to courthouses, you go to police stations. I remember there was this very interesting story I uncovered of a brothel that was in the same place as the church and the mosque. So it was an interesting time in my life. And then I moved on to marketing. I did digital first, and then I started in a traditional agency. I worked as a strategist for a long time. I worked with multinationals, and then I moved to Bolt. And I think it's been an amazing journey. I think tech startups are amazing, and they're the future. And I think within these companies you can grow really fast once you're performing very well.
Yeah, I mean, I like that story because there's a lot of these aspire to inspire, like we call them now, who always say, to be successful, it's almost impossible to do it if you're not starting your own business. And it's interesting to see that you've had an interesting career. Working for amazing companies, isn't it? Yeah. I'll come back to you. I think we're being joined by Skype now by Bukumi Oluwashina, who's an actor and a Future Awards nominee in the category of acting. Bukumi, sorry, how are you doing? If you can hear me.
I'm fine.
Congratulations. Were you also watching last Sunday, or did you get phone calls saying you were nominated?
Yes, I got a phone call. Saw it online. I didn't see it on TV. So it was later I heard that it was announced on Channels TV.
So did you expect to be nominated?
No, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't. It was a shock. But I was actually surprised. I wasn't expecting it.
Oh, okay. How long have you been acting for?
7 years.
Oh, 7 years. So you've skills gradually up until this point. Did you have to get any training? Did you learn on the job? What is your trajectory been like?
Yes, I studied theater at Nobel University. So after I finished school, I started acting. I wasn't even really done with school when I started acting. So that was the journey.
Oh, interesting. So I'm good. This is to both of you now, but let me start with you, Bukumi, since I'm still with you. Are you one of those who go, "Oh, it's good enough to be nominated. I'm fine if I don't win. It's an honor."
Yes, I'm one of those, because I see this as huge for me already. It's my first time being on the list, and the Future Award is not just like the normal, it's a huge one for me. So I feel fulfilled already. So if I win or I don't, I'm already a winner. That's how I feel.
I don't believe you, but what about you?
I agree. I think it's an honor to be nominated. I mean, it's an African-wide award, so it is a great honor to be nominated, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, of course, you've looked at your category, you've gone to Google and research on all of them. Do you feel threatened by any of them?
I felt honored to be in the category with this caliber of people, and it seemed fantastic, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of them.
It's been a very tough year on so many fronts. I mean, I always say this year has been just 2 months. January, February, everything else has just been
Yes.
anything you see, you take.
Yes.
How have you, as a young person and interacting with other young people, been able to cope this year? I mean, you're not necessarily you're a business owner. Right? It's harder for a lot of people who try to start businesses or own businesses. But both, for example, of course, was also affected because a company like that, nobody was riding anywhere. How were you able to cope and also interacting with other younger people? How has it been?
I mean, I think that's a really interesting question. This year has been really tough. I think the hardest there've been two parts that have been really hard. I think mentally it's been a really exhausting year. There's been lots of anxiety that has accompanied the year, but in addition to that, it's also been financially taxing.
Yeah.
Taxing, yes. It's also been a very difficult year financially for a lot of people, and people have struggled. But I think for us, like as a business, when you work within a business, you're always thinking about opportunity. Every time hardships occur in a society, it also presents opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we're looking. So I mean, there's a lockdown. We think, oh, there's probably people needing food delivery, so you can pivot to food delivery. So it just presents opportunities for you to think outside the box and say, okay, what can I do if I'm expanding to other countries normally within this year that's tough? How can I consolidate my growth internally in the countries that I already operate in?
Okay. So do you find that, I mean, you run businesses in you said Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, a lot of these countries. I don't know how much of an interaction you have with young
in those
people in any of these countries. Do you find that experiences are very, very similar? Because there's always this conversation about, oh, Africa is not a country. But you go on social media sometimes, you see conversations being held by Kenyans, by Ghanaians, and you wonder, this actually feels like Lagos being talked about, or about my government.
Yeah.
Do you find that there are more shared experiences than differences?
I think with COVID, we've seen a lot of homogeneity in the experiences that we're going through as young people across the board, and this is America, UK, everywhere.
Yeah.
We're all going through a period of great anxiety. We're going through a period where we're emerging into ourselves as people, as young people. We're gaining independence. We're figuring things out. We're losing jobs. We're getting jobs. So I think we're having a lot of shared experiences across the borders.
Bukumi, if you can hear me, I want to talk to you about, you're an actor, you study theater arts, so I want to believe you're living your passion. But one thing that a lot of young people, especially in this part of the world, in Nigeria, seem to talk a lot about is the fact that when they have a passion for something, they're not able to completely follow it because there's no money there, especially at the start. So I'm passionate about, catering, for example, but I don't have enough money to start up. So I'm in this banking hall just sweating it out. First of all, how are you able to make that dichotomy between saying, okay, I'm going to follow my passion even if it's making me money or not? And at what point are you realistic enough to tell yourself the truth?
Well, one thing I've gotten to realize is that there is always a plan B if a plan A is not working. And for those people who are passionate about things that has to do with talent, especially the kind of part that you need money to, get yourself known. It is always, I feel I'm a kind of person that believe you should have a source of income, like another work that could help you apart from you wanting to pursue a dream, because this is Nigeria. Everything is, let me say, art. So we need, you will be needing more than just having talent. So when I see people who have the zeal to work and then probably pursue their dream, and then they're not being financially buoyant to get that happened, I got to tell them that if you're not able to do this, maybe you find something else you think you can do that could still help you take you to the part where you can later be able to, go after this dream. Because when I wanted to start acting, there was no money at first, but I was writing scripts for people. Then I was into music, so I was trying to gather some few things for myself before I was able to later get financial support from family, and then I was able to film. So if you're just there thinking that there is no money, there is nobody to financially support you, then you're going to be waiting. You might as well wait forever. So you can just get busy with something. Who knows? Probably in the process of you doing something else, you would find the help that you would need to help you go after the other dream that you've always wanted to. So that's what I just feel. I just feel like don't just be an I do, even if you don't have what you need to get what you want. You can still make do with the ones you can still, work with.
I
That's what I
mean,
believe.
Yeah, sort of the same question that I asked Teve earlier, asking you the same thing. I mean, it's been a very, very tough year, especially for you in entertainment. I mean, cinemas were shut, nobody could shoot, you couldn't go on set and all of that. So, I mean, you've talked about, having to find a way around making money at the start of your career. How did that help you in a year like this when everybody was looking for alternative ways of making money?
This year, this year has been a hell of a
For
year. I
it, right?
wouldn't lie. I had a lot of plans. No, I had a movie I shot. My plan was to premiere it in like 5 countries. We were already in Dubai when everywhere got shut down. Every of the expenses, everything got wasted, and it was so frustrating for me. But one thing I've noticed is that, like I said, I'm always after plan B. Whenever I'm planning for something, I have my okay. What if it doesn't work? What if it works? So the moment, the period I was at home, I was actually more active on social media. So I had enough time to do my brand influencing work and, advertise for people on my page, the normal social media PR and all of that. So it's been the only thing that actually helped me financially around that period because everywhere was shut down. I never even knew we could at least get better like this. At least some people are filming already. I've already been thinking that maybe it's going to take us probably a year or 2 years, but I'm thankful that things are changing gradually. So I made use of my plan B and we were cool.
All right, Tevye, I mean, she's talked a lot about plan A, plan B there, which I guess is something that a lot of people I have kind of been accused of these days by our parents. Say almost like you don't have a focus. I'm an actor, singer, songwriter, dancer, cook. It's like you're not focused on one thing. Do you think is there a downside to having too many plans as a young person? Or is it always a good thing, you think?
I think that single-mindedness is valuable. I think that there's definitely merit to always thinking, oh, like, what's the one thing that I'm really good at and how can I strengthen this? But the thing is that even within one plan, there are many layers of plans. There's many ways to be an actor.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be movies. Sometimes it could be skate making. Sometimes it could be going on YouTube. So I think single-mindedness is good, but the way that is executed can be layered.
Yeah. Still talking about this generation now, the Gen Zs, they've become very sort of popular across the world, leading protests in America, in Poland, in Nigeria, being very vocal about how they feel. But there's also been a talk about, they don't seem to necessarily send their message across well. What do you think, how effective do you think this generation will be in a space, especially like Nigeria, where we've seen a protest hold for the first time that, governments sat up, the world took notice. Do you think it's going to be, one, effective, or do you see, like a lot of people have said, that the generation might get carried away because they think, we did it, we can do it whenever we want? What do you sense?
I think when people say we don't get our point across well, they mean respectfully. So a lot of people are looking for they want us to basically be respectful in the way that we're passing across our demands.
Yeah.
But we've seen people do that before, and it hasn't had much impact.
Yeah.
So it's not about being more respectful; it's about demanding for more, asking for more. I mean, Malcolm X wasn't the most polite guy. Everybody has their strategy. Different generations will try different things. I think our generation is trying the approach of by any means necessary. And I mean, hopefully the chips fall in the right places for us.
Yeah, very well done. Bukumi, let me come to you now before we go. How do you feel about being nominated for the Future Awards, and what are your expectations on the award?
So honored and expectations. I hope to win. Everybody loves to win. And if I don't, I am happy. Being a nominee, I'm happy already. Like I said, you wouldn't believe me. You said you don't believe me, but I'm actually happy. So, and I hope let me just be positive. It's good to be positive. But I'm happy. Whichever way I'm happy. I'm positive.
Your fellow nominees, were you shook a bit by the list?
Yeah. Most of them. Let me say, I'm their fans. Like I'm one of their fans, brother. I saw the people I was seeing on the list. When I saw the list, I was like, "Well, this is going to be a very tough one." Well, whichever way, for me to even be part of them, I feel great about it already. So whoever wins deserves to win. Whoever wins. So I'm happy for anybody. I'm happy for myself being on the list, and it's already enough for me. But if I should win, it's going to be a very good one and a shock. Let me say, it's going to be a shock for me.
Tell me to you now. Do you first of all, how do you feel about being nominated? And secondly, do you feel like awards validate work, or they're not that necessary? What do you think?
I think, okay, so how do I feel? I feel very honored. Do I feel that awards validate work? I think maybe the answer is no, but I think you can only say that when you've been awarded.
Why?
I think, I mean, it's great to be recognized for work that you've done, and I think one of the things that a lot of us are learning in this generation is that a lot of times we do great work, but we don't know how to present the work in a way that the world takes notice
Yeah.
of the level of work that we're doing. So I think that awards are a good way to amplify the work that you do. Whether or not it validates that the work you've been doing is great or not is another question. But I think that they're great. They're great to have. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice thing to hang on your wall and show your children and say, hey, that was me.
I did that one time.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Tavia. Congratulations,
Thank you
Bukumi.
very
And
much.
good luck to the both of you. And all the best at the future awards. At least I will be rooting for both of you.
Thank you.
For now, thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a break now and be right back. Please don't go away.